Podcast.
I only heard podcast.
Perfect.
Everything else sounded like a robot.
Can you hear me now? Is it good now?
Keep talking.
Check. Hello, am I good?
Give me
Is
a
it better
monologue.
now? Monologue?
Villainous
Alright.
monologue. Go.
Recently, Bring the Shane has been on a tirade through his refrigerator, putting all sorts of leftovers in tortillas.
Nice. So yeah, that sounded good.
Cool.
I had tacos for dinner, so that's kind of the same.
It's Taco Tuesday.
It is Taco Tuesday.
Nice.
I
Way
pretty
to
much.
stay on
I
theme.
mean, if I all my tacos just become burritos because it's just the best way to put taco food in your mouth is just wrapping it in a burrito. Well, I
Convenient.
guess if you're doing soft shell, if you're doing hard shell burrito,
I don't know if that's a thing.
that sounds awful.
It
It sounds so crunchy. I feel like it would rip your gums.
I like a crispy burrito though.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I always toast it up in the pan.
I mean, I guess like a crunch wrap from Taco Bell, it has like a
That's
hard.
a tostada.
Yeah, but it still has like a hard shell inside.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
recently I made like a cheeseburger burrito.
Nice. What was in it? I've actually have you had that at Olga's before?
No.
They do that at Olga's. How was it?
It could have been better, but it was good. It was the better of the two that I made. It was a hamburger and that I like cut in half. Yeah, I cut it in half and like put it in there with cheese and I think that might have been it. No, there
Do you
had
put
to
like
have
any
been
like
other shit.
sauce or anything?
There had to
Mayo?
have been other shit. I don't remember. There was other stuff
like-
though.
That's good. That would have been a really dry burrito.
Yeah, no, I remember. We had made these like fajita style vegetables.
Okay. Ooh,
So
I like that.
it was like serrano peppers and green peppers and red peppers and onions with like some crazy seasoning.
Nice.
So it was like some of that stuff, and then I think I might have put a little sriracha on it, but that was it. And
That sounds good.
cheese, and I rolled it up, and it was pretty good. So the next thing was basically rinse and repeat, except instead of a burger, I used mild Italian sausage that I
Ooh.
like cut up into bits. Not as
For
good.
sure. What kind of
Not as
tortillas are you using? Just flour?
Yeah.
Are you a flour
and then
or a
nothing
corn kind of tortilla guy?
It depends, right? Because like when you're rolling these big ass burritos,
Right, you can't really do corn.
yeah, it's like a lot easier with a flour tortilla. But
Like,
when
if
it
you had a
comes
choice,
to like,
if you were at like a restaurant and they're like, "Oh, would you want flour or corn?" Where are you going with this?
I usually land on corn, like
Same. It
especially
just tastes
especially
better.
if I'm getting like a hard shell.
Yeah, I don't. It's just so much better. They are very annoying to like actually like grill and cook and at home though, like corn tortillas, because they just. I don't know if I just do them wrong, but they just fall apart every time I do them.
Yeah, I've never made them at home. Well, and like hard shell tacos that come in a box, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hello,
I've been
Mr. Gorilla Dude.
more on a pita kick lately. Being
Pita.
honest.
Hey, I mean, if it rolls, I'll give it a go.
I've had like a pita, chicken finger pita, like homemade chicken finger pita, like the last like 3 out of 7 days. Just because it's easy. Just
They're
get
so
some
good too.
grilled chicken, cut it up, barbecue sauce. I mean, not barbecue, buffalo sauce. I guess you could do barbecue sauce. Buffalo
Yeah.
sauce, some ranch,
They're so
lettuce,
good.
tomato, cheese. So good. Olga's is a regional thing. I did not know that. I thought everyone had Olga's.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Very high energy today on the podcast for both of us.
Yeah, nailing it.
Nailing it. High energy. High.
I feel like I have so much to talk about,
I
but
know.
very little of it is related to the podcast.
There's not really much. Yeah. Okay. Let's just get into it. We'll start the podcast. I need more energy. That give me a second. Take a drink of water.
To pump it up.
Pump it up. All right. Hey everyone. Welcome back to Ruining Movies, your podcast. Well, it's our podcast. It's all of our podcasts. It's not just your podcast. It's my podcast. It's Shane's podcast. It's the world's podcast, the people's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here. We're the people's podcast. But welcome to Ruining Movies, the podcast in which we, Shane, Zach, he's Shane, I'm Zach, ruin the movies with the help of you wonderful audience, by rewriting the movie of the week. This week we're doing the Muppet Movie, the 1979 Muppet Movie. By rewriting it in a different genre and then making it a prequel, sequel, or remake. That happens at the end of the episode. But before we get into the Muppet Show, we need to talk about the news. What's going on? Movie news, TV news, pop culture, all that fun stuff. But before we do that, what have you been watching? And Chad, I'm going to throw this out to you guys too. What have you guys been watching? Anything good out there?
Before I talk about what I've been watching, because it's going to be big news, I have a dirty secret.
Okay.
I'm so not excited for the end of this episode.
Oh, did you not like it?
I really like the movie, and like that's my issue with the last part of this episode. Like I don't remaking this movie,
dude,
is going to be particularly difficult, I think, over all the other ones that we've done.
The good thing is the Muppets have done so many different types of movies that we will have a guideline. Hopefully. True. As long as it's not like horror. Then we're going to have a problem. We'll figure it out.
So on to what I've been watching. I guess we'll start with I started to stream late because I finished episode 5 of the new Love, Death, Robots.
Okay, yeah. But I'm trying to let me get a list.
That was The Tall Grass.
Oh, that one was so good.
Which I didn't look into it or anything, but if I had to guess, it's based off of the book/short story. Which was written by the son of Stephen King, whose name escapes me.
Joe King,
yeah.
Wow,
it was good.
I knew that.
it was cool. Yeah, everything I've seen so far has been cool. I think that's the 5th one, so I've seen 5 of them.
Oh, wait, no. Okay, 1 second. Stephen King's son is Joe Hill.
Yeah, they both have multiple names.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's Joe Hill, though. Yeah, I think he removed the King just because, you don't want to write with your... But, I mean, he wrote Nosferatu and stuff.
Shit.
Yeah. Even though Nosferatu is pretty cool.
It's an interesting story, The Tall Grass. It's really cool stuff. Yeah. And so far, everything I've seen of this show... I mean, I've seen the first... saga, if you will, a few times, and they're just great, and these have been very good. The show is as advertised. There is Love, Death, and Robots.
I think Ghost Hand, who says in chat, I watched the new volume of Love, Death, Robots. It was okay, didn't reach the heights of the first season. I would totally agree with that. I watched them all in one night because I saw it was on. They were like 6 12-minute episodes, so I just powered through them. They were all good. I'll give them that. But I don't think they're as good as the first season. I agree. I'm
only 5 episodes in, and I can agree with that. So
yeah.
They're.
So, have you seen Pop Squad yet? That's probably one of my favorite. The one.
Mm-hmm.
That one was good. The Tall
That
Grass,
one had,
I really liked the art style.
I'm pretty sure Pop Squad had Nathan Drake in it.
Yeah, Troy Baker.
That guy that voices like everything.
Yeah,
he's a cool dude. We've talked about him before.
Yeah, absolutely. Nolan North. Okay, Nolan North. Nolan North is also up there, like with Troy Baker. Okay. So I think that's a general consensus. Wow, word. I think that's how generally most people feel about this second season. Is it's good. I enjoyed. I didn't not enjoy watching them, but like the first season was so good.
So in the first season, first of all, there was like more episodes, and there was like shorter episodes throughout that were like kind of funny. Yeah. And lighthearted. This one seems like it's about to just be 8 like intense rides, which is cool. I like intense rides, like roller coasters and stuff. But I would have liked to have had maybe like a couple short funny things peppered in there.
There's one that's kind of funny called All Through the House. I don't know if you.
That's the next one I get to watch.
That one's short and it's funny, but it's also like kind of intense.
Good.
Yeah.
That's what I look for in my Love, Death, and
Yeah,
Robots.
I like the idea of anthologies too, Ghost Hand. I'm all
Hmm.
for anthologies. Always will push for them more. Like they're just great. It shows off artists and other directors. I don't know if I don't want to say they're suffering from this Love, Death, and Robots, but it seems like they're going for a more like a broader audience with
Yeah.
this season. It seemed like last season, like there was very like niche and specific episodes. Like I'm thinking of the Zima Blue one. The Zima Blue one was like very artistic and very philosophical. And we don't really get anything like that in this season. And a
Yeah,
lot
I
of the
haven't
art
seen anything
style is
like
kind of the same. That's why I really like the Tall Grass because it had the most unique art style.
that.
But I
Hmm.
still think it's worth a watch. I still think all the episodes are worth a watch. I don't know. Sometimes it happens with like it happened with Black Mirror too. Like when you kind of are this independent hit, and then you get like a lot of people watching you, looking at you, and people want more. I don't. It always becomes like more like broad. Like they're trying to reach out to a larger audience with it, and it just things become a little bit watered down.
Sure.
But anyway, it's still worth.
Yeah, no, I've been enjoying it so far. I'm definitely gonna finish it. Do you have any idea like how they make this show? Do they just like reach out to a bunch of artists, or
I
do they take like is like competition or?
So I actually did a bunch of research on that show specifically because I was wondering that because I would
I've
kind of
been
I
so
watched it.
curious
Yeah, I watched it all and I was like, okay, what happened here? Did they get a bigger budget? Um,
because it
I
makes me
couldn't
think
find
of some of.
anything. I couldn't find anything about it. Like there's
Okay,
it's kind of like a mystery.
because if you ever watched like Off the Air,
I don't think so.
it's Adult Swim. I'm almost certain you have.
Maybe I've watched a lot of
I'm
Adult
pretty
Swim
sure
stuff.
that's what it's called. Yeah, yeah, they had like liquid, animals, dreams,
Oh,
colors,
okay.
space,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
YouTube
yeah,
videos.
yeah, yeah.
Cause like this, in a way, Love, Death, Robots reminds me of that because they're both anthologies, and I always had the same questions about Off the Air. Like, is this stuff that like people just send in, or do they like reach out to people, or is there like a cage match?
Cage Man. So specifically, I know like if we're talking about like the ABCs of Death, which is another anthology, a horror anthology, they like went around the world and found 27 different directors for that, and then like pretty much just gave them a budget and was like, do whatever the hell you want. So
Mhm,
I know like a lot of anthologies are like that. I know Black Mirror is probably a little bit tighter with that. Like they do get different directors for
mhm.
each thing, but I don't know. I like actually spent some time looking up like Death Love Robots, like how Love Death Robots. I keep mixing up Love Death and Robots, mixing up those three words. I couldn't really find too much about like their process, which really interests me. I would love to know their process. Like, do
So
they take
mysterious.
pitches? Do they know people? Because like we got some big like actors in some of these.
Yeah, and even in the first season, there was um people that I recognized. The one
There's
I
what
can't
Toby
remember her
Maguire? No.
name. Well, yes. Yeah, Eric Foreman.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking I can't remember his it starts with a T. Topher Grace.
Topher Grace. That's what.
Um
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's
him
same person.
and this other person who was in Orange is the New Black, whose name I can't remember. Please stand by.
Yeah. Well, I know Michael B. Jordan pops up in one of the. You haven't seen it yet because it's towards the end, but like
Oh,
Michael
that's cool.
B. Jordan isn't like not a like cheap actor to get.
Right. Yeah, that
Dude's like the
he's
Dave Batista, like is like Dave Batista right now. Like
he's
he's in
been
everything.
he's been my recommendation for like three recastings on this podcast.
Exactly.
Oh no. Oh, Samira Wiley.
Yeah. Life Hutch. I don't think I. Oh, okay. Yeah. Actually, I think I know who that
She
is.
was in the first season. She was in The Handmaid's Tale and Orange is the New Black, Love, Death,
Yeah.
Robots. Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to know how they do this.
Yeah, I was
Like
just so curious. And
what's
now
the
that you
creative?
mention it, I'm
Yeah.
curious about like other anthology series too, like even the ABCs of Death. Like, did they seek out specific actors, or were they just like going to places and looking for the best one for what they were looking for?
So I know also some anthologies, like I think ABC's of Death or maybe VHS did this, where like they'll like put out an open casting or open thing, being like, we're doing an anthology series. This is the premise. Pitch your ideas to us, and then they'll
Okay,
take it. So a little bit of the background of Love, Death, and Robots is it is by Blur Studio, like that's who produces it.
okay,
And that is Tim Miller's studio. Tim Miller, director of Deadpool.
okay.
Yeah.
I see. I was
Yeah,
about,
I shouldn't describe. Tim Miller's like a pretty big name. He
Terminator Dark
not
Fate.
really like Deadpool, Terminator, Dark Fate. I guess
Sonic the Hedgehog.
why did I think Tim Miller did more than this?
Yeah, he's got some real bangers out
Oh
there.
wait.
Sonic
Oh,
really
it's
nailed it.
Tim Miller and T.J. Miller. I think he's T.J. Miller. I don't know. I thought he was gonna. Why did I think Tim Miller was bigger than he is? I don't know. Maybe his Deadpool was such a smashing hit. I don't know. I'm babbling on. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. But that is generally anthologies. Like I've even seen it when I was in school. Like people are doing anthologies, and you would pitch your idea to them. Like they'd be like, "We're doing a horror anthology. Every letter is going to be a horror film. We're looking for directors." Boom, pitch your idea. You with the pitch, you put your like synopsis. You put like what kind of cast you need, and you probably put your budget too. Being like, "Hey, this is how much we can film this with," and then you're selected, and then you can make whatever the hell you want. Well, you have to make what you say you're gonna make.
Right.
Which I feel like that's how Death Love Robots has to go, unless like Tim Miller is just sitting there, being like, I want that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, and they have like pre-selected, which could be, they did Halo cutscenes. Blurred Studios did. I did not know
Whoa,
that.
that's pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, the animation, that's one thing you cannot take away from,
No,
like,
I wouldn't dare.
like, the Love, Death, Robots, animation style is so beautiful. I love the tall grass just because of the animation style. It's so nice. Also, like, the one with the brothers, it wasn't my favorite story-wise, but that animation also I really enjoy.
One of the brothers, Ice.
Yeah, the one with the whales.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
I
like
like
that
that
one
one a
was
lot.
visually beautiful. Yeah. So it's good.
Man. Okay.
Watch it. It's not as good as the first. But
All
Pop
right.
Squad, I actually really enjoyed Pop Squad. For how
Pop Squad
dark it
was fucking insane.
That one was
Like,
good. I like me some
yeah,
cyberpunk.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good ending. I love your
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
No hero ending.
Exactly. So these are my favorites before we move on. Pop Squad, The Tall Grass, All Through the House, which is the next one you're gonna go watch, and then the last one, The Down to Giant, which has been getting like I've seen a mixture of responses to it, but those are were my four favorites. So I'm excited to watch the next couple.
Yeah, I'm excited to knock them out because I feel like I was a lot more on my game with the first release, and now this one came out, and I've been kind of watching some other things, which brings me to my next point.
What else have you been watching?
I finished Invincible.
Oh, you finished it? Hell yeah. Dude, talk to me. How did you like it? What about the finale? What's going on?
It was so good. I liked it a lot.
So good.
Mark is a really cool main character. I like that the bad guy is super fucking bad.
Like incredibly. J.K. Simmons is killing it. As Omni-Man, like, oh my god. Also, spoilers, check.
Oh yeah, big time.
But I mean, I guess like after like halfway through the season, you kind of realize, like, well, actually, after the first episode, pretty much.
His monologue was just insane.
Yeah.
Mark definitely is not living up to his name.
No, I mean he hasn't died yet, so he's invincible that way. But he's gotten close a couple times.
He is so far invulnerable.
Yeah.
right? Or is invulnerable? No. What? Let me just really quick.
Well, invulnerable means you can't take damage. He definitely takes
Okay.
damage.
Yeah,
He's
he takes the shit out of some
invincible means
damage.
you can't die.
Too powerful to be defeated or overcome.
Yeah, no, he gets gets ass kicked most episodes, dude. Which I do like that about the show is like he gets his ass handed to him
Hmm.
most episodes.
And I love how they present like the very real learning curve of becoming a superhero.
Yeah,
Like the first
absolutely.
thing that he does is get the shit kicked out of him and then almost murder a person accidentally.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. The
Um,
gore is so insane too.
yeah, and literally the next day I was thinking about the part where well, it's big spoilers ahead, everybody,
Yeah,
because that's what this show is all about.
yeah.
Omni-Man is teaching Mark a lesson.
Is it the train?
Yeah,
Dude, that scene is haunts me.
yeah. That was
God.
crazy. That was fucking insane. And
Right.
then like when he throws him through the building, it just keeps going crazier and oh man, it was wild.
The
Like
yeah.
just
The
wild.
the
Mark
part
is a
that really
different person
cements
now.
Omni-Man as such a terrifying villain. Like all the way throughout the show, he is absolutely terrifying. Is the scene where Mark tries to save the pilot and Omni-Man is just like lecturing Mark about like why did you even try, and just like snaps the guy's head off, just pops
Mm-hmm.
him. Like that is so disturbing. And then holding like using Mark to kill civilians like in a train is honestly a scene that is probably never going to leave my brain.
No, it was insane. Like seeing that shit was fucking bananas.
Like I was actually like terrified, like that, terrified, absolutely terrified. That last episode like made me afraid of superheroes. Like
Yeah,
more so than before. Like obviously superheroes aren't real, but my god, would it suck to live in that world.
right. Holy shit.
Like you think of
So
Marvel and DC, and it's like, oh, cool, man. I like that's fine. Like there's collateral damage, and then Invincible is like, yeah, no, you'll just die if you're just a normal person.
yeah, and it's like I know, like years ago during the meteoric climb of the MCU,
Yeah,
right? I would find myself being like, look at all those people just getting eviscerated.
yeah,
Like they're just dead. In the same way that I watched like Kong versus Godzilla. I was just like, there goes Hong Kong. Like that's basically how I took some of the early MCU movies, which was cool because they kind of did something with it. But this show took it to a fucking whole new level.
yeah, absolutely.
It
It took
really
it even
lets you
further than
know.
the boys.
Yeah, yeah. Like, where the fuck is the actual government during all of this?
Yeah. Well, Cecil's there trying to do stuff, but what can he do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man.
It's.
Oh gosh.
I'm so excited for
I am
season 2.
excited for more.
Yeah. Ghostan says the scene is not in the comics. That scene was not in the comics. It's brand new for the show.
Well,
Interesting. I wonder. I'm gonna have to read. I heard the
shit
comics. I
is
heard.
imprinted on me
Yeah.
forever.
I heard the comics are like on Amazon. You can read for free. So I might. I'm probably gonna do that because I want to see um the differences, but also at the same time, like I don't know if I want to be spoiled on what's gonna happen. The show's so good.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
my prediction right now is that Omni-Man's gonna come back.
Right. That's a good prediction.
It's on tape, everybody. It's set in stone.
Hell yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it was very good. Very
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Did you watch anything else?
Um,
I guess that's a
I'm
lot. Like all of Invincible's a lot.
yeah, and honestly, that shit, I needed to just like sit down for a little bit
Right.
after watching that, and
I'm
just like decompress for a
trying to think
while.
what I watched after I watched like the Harley Quinn show. After I watched that, even which was even more guts and stuff, but I was like, I need
Watch like
something.
videos of puppies. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. I don't remember what I watched. There was uh uh yeah, no, I think that about covers it.
Okay.
I
Um.
watched the Muppets movie, which I'm
Yeah.
super hyped to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. So I watched the Muppet movie early on in the week, and then obviously that was too wholesome for me. So I watched. I finished The Outsider, which is on HBO Max, which is the Stephen King show. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
It's one season. If you liked True Detective, it felt like a lesser True Detective, which led
Ah,
me
the
into
flat
then
circle.
watching all of True Detective season 3.
Nice, which I've heard phenomenal
I
reviews
really
from
liked it.
mostly.
So obviously, True Detective season 1 is True Detective season 1. It deserves to hold that like high spot in like one of the greatest seasons of TV ever.
Yeah, time
It
is a
just
flat circle.
exactly. Season 3 wasn't that as good as season 1, but it was still pretty phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. They kind of
All right.
pulled from this kind of same story, like narrative devices as season 1, kind of like time
Cool.
and stuff, which I liked. I liked the timelines and stuff, and kind of playing through cases like that. I really enjoyed it.
Also,
Yeah,
Mahershala Ali is Blade.
and he fucking kills it. He's so good in
I
it.
I've heard that he is phenomenal.
Honestly, I recommend it. If you liked season 1, you'll like this season. I never watched season 2. Well, I watched an episode of season 2, and I just could not get into it. I might try to get back into it just because I'm kind of like True Detective's rules. But I just never really heard good things about season 2 of it. Did you watch season 2 at all?
Nope. And from everyone I know that has, they just didn't really give it that great of a review.
Yeah, yeah. Um.
But I mean, I'd
Also,
give it a go.
yeah, I might just watch it because I don't know what to watch right now. But also shout out to Stefan Dorff. He was like co-star, like kind of kind of like Woody Harrelson to Matthew McConaughey in season
Okay.
1. You know, like that kind of
Yeah.
connection. He also was fantastic in it. I'm trying to like look what he
Nice.
was in. Like if you see him, you probably like know um who he is. He was actually in the original Blade. What? Cool. But he killed it too. I mean, everyone killed it. It was really good. It was really good. I really liked it.
I recognize
Yeah,
this
like you'll see his face. You'll be like,
guy.
I know that guy, but you're like, you don't know where. Like that's
Let
where
me
I'm
just
at
go to
right
your
now.
IMDb really quick, fella.
Yeah. But yeah, super good.
Oh, yeah. He was in Deputy,
Oh well,
which
that
I've
yeah.
never watched, but I have seen it on in my home many times, and
Yeah.
he's the sheriff.
Oh,
That's where I know him from, right off rip.
right. Like, okay, that's probably where I know him from too. Is like that face. Just like I know that
Mm-hmm.
face. Uh,
Leatherface, the movie. Okay,
he was
cool, cool.
Deacon Frost and Blade. I don't remember who that is.
Deacon Frost.
That just sounds like a Blade name.
Uh-oh, he was in a movie called Heat Stroke. I'm just gonna get past that one. Is that a good movie? I don't know.
I've never heard of it.
It sounded
But
like a triple X movie,
yeah, honestly, it did.
know?
Ray Fisher was also in season 3. Which was nice to see him actually be like have a competently written character other than the original Justice League as him as Cyborg.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? I wasn't listening.
Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg in Justice League, like he
Okay.
was in it, and he actually like had like good dialogue and a good story in it compared to
Oh,
the
nice.
original Justice League. I haven't seen the new one, so I can't comment if he actually is a better role in the new Zack Snyder cut. But I remember seeing the first Justice League, and he was just kind of like there, which he didn't really get much time.
Hmm. Stephen Dorff was also in The Iceman.
Is that the one about the mafia guy?
Yeah,
Not
John
the X-Men
Kuklinski.
character.
Yeah, Kuklinski, I think is the name of it. John
Yeah, it's like
Kuklinski.
Ray. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah, cool
well,
guy.
I'm trying to think. What else did I watch? I watched some Muppet Show, like actual episodes. After
Nice.
I watched the Alice Cooper one, the Vincent Price one, and the Elton John one, and they all still rule 100%.
Hell yeah.
Seeing Alice Cooper, well, seeing all three of them as young, like people. Vincent Price wasn't even that young. I don't even think. Vincent Price never looked young. I'll just say that. He like looked like he always crawled out of a crypt, which is cool. But like seeing like a young Alice Cooper was so nuts.
Yeah, I
So
should
funny.
watch those.
Really, they are. The Muppet Show, like actual like shows are really funny. And like the guests they have on there are like awesome. And we'll talk about the cameos in the Muppet movie when we talk about the Muppet movie. But like
Perfect.
Steve Martin has an episode. Elton John. Elton John was the episode I watched a lot as a kid, which makes sense for my music taste. I love Elton John. Um,
Nice.
and yeah. I'm trying to think. I consumed a lot of media this last week because I have not been feeling good. I just don't know what I guess watching all of True Detective season 3 was a lot of media. That is like 8 hours. These are all like an hour long. Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. Let's transition into the future. We talked about the present, the future. I don't know. That was a bad segue. Let's talk about the news. Let's go. Do you want to talk about TV or movies first? Chat. You guys got any news you want to talk about? Throw us it out in chat. I got a couple things written down.
Well, I'll just pick movies because I have nothing written down.
Okay.
I got nothing.
All right. Let me get my movies
I
list.
feel like I've been
It's been a kind of
consumed by other stuff.
slowish week with movies.
I knew it. I thought so. That's why
Yeah.
I'm not.
Well, to start off,
Yeah.
we have Charles Grodin passed away today.
Oh no.
Yeah, which is kind of weirdly connects to this episode because he was like the main character in the second Muppets movie. Charles Grodin, for those who don't know, incredibly famous actor. Midnight Run, King Kong, The Heartbreak Kid, and not like the Jack Black King Kong, like the 1976 King Kong. The Beethoven movies, which I don't really match up to the rest of what he's done. But he passed away, so R.I.P. He great, and he's in the Great Muppet Caper, which is the second Muppet movie. It's also really funny. Okay, so this news that sounded way too exciting after we just talked about someone
High
dying.
energy.
High energy. So I kind of called it last week, where I said the next person they were gonna announce for Knives Out 2 was gonna be a very famous actress.
Oh.
And they announced Catherine Hahn, which
Okay.
is Agatha from WandaVision.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
the day after that episode. So now
Naturally.
we have Dave Bautista, Daniel Craig, oh god, who else?
Catherine Hahn.
Catherine Hahn. Who was that person we were really excited for?
Dave Bautista.
No, Invincible Hulk actor.
Oh, Edward Norton.
Edward Norton, thank you. That's such a big cast. Such a for a Netflix movie. Like that is such a big A-list cast for a two Netflix films. I don't know if they're all going to be in the same film.
Got like Janelle Monáe and Leslie
yes, they also
Odom
got
Jr.
Janelle Monáe, which is those two are awesome. Janelle Monáe, God, I cannot speak today. She is fantastic. Also a great musician.
Also Leslie Odom Jr.
Yep, I saw that today. That movie is stacked.
From Hamilton. Man, they're just raking them in.
Like literally, I don't know.
Holy.
Like everyone's gonna be in that movie by the end of this fucking summer.
Leslie Odom Jr. is about to have like a solid year.
Yeah.
By the looks of things.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in a couple of things coming up.
Yeah, he's got some things up and coming, and good for him.
Like, I don't think we're gonna get any more like Knives Out, like, anything else from Knives Out, like probably for a couple months, other than like they're just gonna keep announcing.
You thought?
Yeah, I guess. Like I can't think of like who else that like they would bring in right now, but like I feel like we're gonna get some crazy person. Like
I mean, the first one was stacked too, though.
The first one was stacked. You're not wrong. Like every character in that movie was like acted
someone very
by
famous.
by someone very famous.
Let's see, who do we have here in the first Knives Out? Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Don Johnson, Toni Collette, Lakeith Stanfield, Christopher Plummer. These it just the list goes on and on. Catherine Langford.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait, what the hell? Frank Oz was in Knives Out? Okay. That's another connection. Frank Oz is one of the directors of the Muppets movie.
So, did you pick the Muppets because Daniel Plainview and Bloom are both master puppeteers?
Obviously, that's why. They're both Muppets. It's actually because I think Fozzie Bear is a psychopath. Kidding, I love Fozzie. Yeah. So I mean, those movies. I don't know if we can like to even talk more about them. Like they're gonna be great. Like the Knives Out. Well, I don't know if they're gonna be great, but like
I'm
they
pretty
better
excited.
be great if you have that many great actors and actresses in it, and you're being paid that much from Netflix. That better be good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited. I really enjoyed the first one, so
I know Rian Johnson is kind of a controversial director with the Star Wars films. Not seen them, I don't think.
yeah, I mean,
but like, okay, I guess he's not even that controversial because like, The Last Jedi was the only one people really don't like, but he also did like Looper
right, like
and Knives Out.
the thing about the whole Star Wars thing is,
Yeah.
I think the Star Wars community is going to be divided on
Everything.
each trilogy and
yeah.
every piece of Star Wars media, like probably forever.
That is true. Is there a more divisive like group of people like the Star Wars community? I feel like it's always a 50-50 hate circle.
Yeah, you're either a Sith or a Jedi, right? Like,
right. There is no absolute. You're right. There are no absolutes.
Unless you're fucking
Unless you're
only
a
a
Star Wars
Sith
fan.
deals in absolutes.
And
That's an absolute.
That is yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to throw too much shade at Rian Johnson.
Is it Rian or Ryan?
I think it's Ryan.
It's Rian. That's the only reason I'm calling it Rian.
Yeah, I think it's Ryan.
Okay.
But anyway,
wrong, I apologize.
I don't want to throw too much shade at him because, like, yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of the newest Star Wars, but like, you know, the whole, like, his whole career isn't defined by the Star Wars like trilogy or whatever. In the same way that George Lucas's career wasn't totally defined by Star Wars, like he did Indiana Jones
and American Graffiti. Yeah, I mean I agree. I actually, Ghost Hand makes a good point. People barely remember him. All the hatred is focused on the product itself, which is good.
That's true. And Kathleen Kennedy. People really do not like Kathleen Kennedy.
Which is, yeah, don't do that either. Just
I don't want to name drop too much on this Twitch. I'm not throwing hate. I'm just saying.
If you don't like a product,
I have a
don't
Twitter.
Like yeah.
But yeah.
But I mean, he's also like, that's the only thing I can remember from him recent time is like all the hate he got for The Last Jedi. But like he also did direct like the Fly episode of Breaking Bad, which is one of my favorite episodes of Breaking Bad. I think that's also a very controversial.
Yeah, the only episode of Breaking Bad I've fallen asleep in 3 times.
Right, I love Fly, but I know a lot of people also hate Fly. But he also did Ozymandias, which is that the series finale?
I mean,
I
to be fair, on my second watch through of Breaking Bad, I did appreciate the episode more.
Right, but I
the first time I did fall asleep 2 times.
Yeah. But he did direct the series finale of Breaking Bad, which is a 10 out of 10.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't know. Knives Out ruled. So Knives Out 2 and 3.
Yeah, dude. Like honestly, the fact that I didn't like The Last Jedi, how much I didn't like it, is nothing compared to how much I did enjoy Knives Out. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
So.
Okay, so
I trust him with the titles.
Yeah, I mean, also that cast, how it would be hard
to
set up.
Only
like Netflix, like they interfere a lot. It could be a problem.
Speaking of that cast, 3 days, man, 3 days.
Yeah, we've actually got some early theater release reviews coming out. Rotten Tomato is sitting around 70%, and Metacritic's sitting around 56%. For those who don't know what we're talking about, we are talking about Army of the Dead. I don't know. I'll watch it this
Oh,
weekend. I'll watch it
yeah, we'll
maybe
definitely be
this
talking
weekend.
about
Yeah,
it.
we'll talk about it.
I have a perfect
Um,
tangent though, so we don't talk about it too much. Or
yeah.
not
Do you
tangent,
want to talk
segue.
about Dave
That's the right
Bautista
word.
still?
No, I was gonna talk about Army of the Dead still a little bit because they
Oh, okay.
sponsored the this past weekend's UFC event. So welcome to
Wait,
Shane's
what?
Sports Corner.
Okay, take it away. I have something to connect it to Dave Bautista after. Take it away.
Okay, it was just crazy because I was like hanging out in my room, just like doing my thing, and then I went out and the UFC prelims were on the TV, and I literally watched a guy's career probably end. As once again, I
Damn.
walked out and watched a bone snap before my eyes. So this dude, Souza is his last name. I can't think of his first name.
Right.
Anyway, it was just crazy. And like I don't even want to talk about it too much just because like it's wild how like every 3 weeks I walk in on a fight and it's just like, whoa, wow, this is insane. I'm watching someone's career flash before my eyes, and then that's it. It's just
So,
crazy.
okay. When you brought up the UFC thing, I was like, when you said they were sponsored it, right? I was
Yeah.
confused for a second because there was also a weird zombie thing that happened at WWE this last weekend.
Interesting.
And everyone seems to have hated it. Like literally it was
Uh-oh.
WWE, but they got attacked by the Army of the Dead, and it seems like it's just more weird fucking promotion for the movie. What is the promotion for this movie?
I yeah, so like I have like two weird things in my brain right now. This movie and its insane marketing techniques, and
Yeah.
also the WWE and its just general insanity that it has become.
Yeah.
Um
I'm like
like
watching clips right now. They're literally wrestlers are like literally like fighting a horde of zombies
oh
while
my
wrestling each other. It
gosh.
is nonsense.
It's just so different than, when I was a kid. Like they used to
Yeah.
come out and like drink beer and blood would be drawn and it would be
Yeah.
great. Um and now it's like it's so goofy and just like silly. Uh, it's the they do it in front of like a closed stadium or whatever, so everybody's like on screens and
Right, and
you see these like dramatic cutaways and shit. I
yeah.
recently when I saw someone like about to get thrown from a really high place and the camera was like behind him and he was like ah, and then all of a sudden the camera was like on the ground and he fell like 2 inches and was like ah.
Oh
it
my
was it
god.
was ridiculous.
I will
I'm
have.
watching them fight zombies
Yeah, are
right
you
now.
watching it
this
too?
is this is
Chat. I'm gonna post it in chat so if you guys want to watch. I will have to say one of my favorite moments from the pandemic, which is a weird sentence to say, was when someone took all the clips of WWE during like I think it was like 4 or 5 months into the actual pandemic, where there wasn't like large crowds. I mean, there's still not large crowds now. And they took like all the monologues from the wrestlers and put the Twin Peaks music behind it and like the soap opera music as they're standing in an empty studio slash stadium and just like monologuing with like
oh,
soap
it's
opera
so
music behind it,
surreal
and it's
when they talk to
so
each other.
great. I loved it so much. I want to watch a weird soap opera wrestling show now. Like not like a good made one. Like I know there is like Glow and stuff. I think that's like actually like supposed to be like good television. Like I want like a bad soap opera revolving around WWE, please. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess that's just WWE.
I kicked some on when they were in the empty stadium, and it was actually like for really surreally.
For really,
Like
surreally,
watching these
absolutely.
two people just like talk to each other and then do something that would specifically elicit a reaction from like a live audience.
Right, exactly. Like that's a whole like appeal to like wrestling, right? Is like the
Uh-huh.
audience is there. It's like going to a oh god, you're gonna monster truck rally. Like you could just if you were there alone at a
Sure,
rally
Trump.
by yourself, like that'd be kind of be like, woo, hell yeah. But like it's
Yeah,
the
it looks like
crowd.
practice.
Exactly.
It's just
Like
practice. In the immortal words of Allen Iverson, it's just practice.
exactly. Uh god damn it.
Practice.
Yeah. So it's yeah. All right. Well, staying in the WWE world, let's talk about Dave Bautista. We're kind of
Perfect.
going back to him.
Back to Army of the Dead.
Back it up. Back to the Army Dead. Back to Knives Out. Everything we've talked about so far in news has connected to Dave Bautista somehow.
True.
Um.
Wow, that's the
Uh.
future.
Yeah. The big news.
Disney and Dave Bautista.
Yeah. Which it sounds like he's done with Drax. That's another article that came out. I didn't
Oh
read too much.
no!
It does not sound like he's wants to be a part of it anymore. Which I mean, fine.
You
Drax
do
is
you,
cool.
man.
Yeah. I don't know. It kind of like from the articles I did read. I don't know if they're taken out of context. It kind of seems like he wasn't the happiest. Like what they did with Drax and stuff.
Huh?
Which I could see seeing like Drax's whole backstory is like about taking out Thanos, and he didn't really get too much
Mm-hmm.
love in Endgame. Did he even hit Thanos? That's beside
He
the point.
tried
Yeah,
a
that
couple
is true.
times.
In Infinity War, he tried. But anyway, Dave Bautista says he turned down Fast and Furious to pitch a Gears of War movie.
Yes, I did hear this.
Yeah, my dude is well, first of all, I didn't know Dave Bautista was actually used as a character model in Gears of War. So he's already been in Gears of War.
Really?
I
That's
did not know
amazing. I had no idea. This
that.
Dave Bautista, I want to see him in a movie with Terry Crews, and I want those guys to hang out.
Yeah,
Cause like
absolutely.
they're both like jacked as fuck. They're both
They seem
into
cool.
video games and stuff. Like, at least as far as I can tell, if Dave Bautista, I feel like him shutting down a quote unquote AAA blockbuster film such as but like a Fast and Furious movie,
Yeah.
to pitch an idea, not even to like take the time to do the product. It was just like,
Right.
wait, like I think I'd rather maybe just think about this thing for a longer time than thinking about the millions I could make on this other money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I
I
mean,
feel like it's part of it's like a passion project, and that's awesome.
right. No, it's super cool. If we get a Gears of War movie, that would be super rad. We
Mm-hmm.
talked about like I feel like one of the first episodes we did of this podcast, we talked about how video game movies are being made in the handful, and they're pretty great. They're not like the video game movies of prior years. Well, actually, we did get Mortal Kombat this year, which kind of felt like one of those movies.
Yeah, well, I mean,
like
we can't all be Super Mario Bros, right?
exactly. Can't all be Super Mario Bros. But yeah, so that's cool. I like that he does take an interest in the films he's doing. Like he seems like very, very passionate about what he's doing. So,
And I gotta say, it seems
yeah.
like he's carried that through like most of his career.
Right.
Like
I'm
even
like
when he
looking
was
at his
wrestling and stuff, he
IMDb, yeah.
was clearly like very into some things. I heard that he um had a pretty rough go of it in his early years, so it's cool to see him doing some other things.
Yeah, I think this quote from this article I'm reading, which is on IGN, says Batista later added that he thinks Universal was a little put off, but that he didn't regret taking his shot. I don't mean to offend anyone, Batista says. I'm not putting down anything else. I'm just saying Gears is way more interesting to me. I don't want to pretend like I'm actually interested in something I'm not when there's something I'm actually really excited about that you guys have under control. Would you consider me for that? I don't think there's any harm in that. I'm not trying to step on anybody else's toes. I'm just saying, like, this is what I love, and I'm seriously passionate about this. I can do a good job for you guys on this. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know about the dude.
Yeah, for real.
Like, he's not shitting on anyone. He's like, I don't really want to do Fast and Furious. That doesn't interest me, but this project that you guys do have control of, you do. So let's make it. It's cool. He's killing it. He's just
Good
killing
for
it.
him.
We talk about him every week. And
Hit
he's
us
just
up, Dave
killing it.
Batista.
Yeah, come on the podcast. We'll talk about something. I'll stop making fun of his Army of the Dead.
I'm gonna watch that movie just because I like Dave Batista.
I mean, same at this point. Same. I don't know. It's
Over
gonna be,
under on if he makes it out alive. I actually don't know how that old over under betting system works. It's just a fun thing to say. But do you think he'll make it
Yeah.
out alive?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I feel like this is it's Netflix. They're gonna try to make a sequel.
Y- Yeah, Armies of the Dead.
Army of the Dead, which is still, I don't know why they named it Of the Dead, because it feels like it should be in the Dawn of the Dead franchise, but it's not.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I guess Shaun of the Dead did it too, but that's like clearly a parody. um,
Oh, speaking of Shaun of the Dead, I was thinking
yeah,
that
I
I
agree.
would make a
Keep going.
great Ed for Halloween.
Yeah, I, I could see it. All right, so moving on. I don't think we really have any more Dave Bautista, style movie news, but we got some Adult Swim news, which is TV and movies. We can talk about. We did talk about Adult Swim a little bit earlier on the podcast. We are getting a new Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Venture Bros, and Metalocalypse movies.
Oh, nice.
All three of them are getting movies, which rules. That's just rules.
That's so cool. Are
Are
they gonna be like Hulu originals or something?
I'm not quite sure. I'm guessing they're probably going to be connected. They're going to be on HBO Max, which even gives
cool.
me more hope for them, because usually HBO Max makes good content.
Mhm.
Then they put a big budget behind them, and we'll talk about Amazon a little bit later about that budget they're throwing behind a show, but like that's sweet. Yeah, it seems like they're gonna be following Death Clock from Metalocalypse. Nice. I don't know, it's sweet. They're all three of those shows are so funny and such my childhood. Well, not childhood, but like teens. Kind of in a weird way. Where's My Robot Chicken film?
Right.
Even though that'd be weird, I don't know if I want a Robot Chicken film. I think the small skits are where that needs to stay.
Yeah.
When was the last time Aqua Teen Hunger Force was like actually in production?
That's a good question.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force was around for 11 seasons. I did not realize that. I don't know. I'm excited. I'll watch all three of them.
Yeah, I'll for sure.
Especially if they're on HBO. That means they'll be out immediately. Cool.
Oh yeah.
So
My subscription for HBO is ending.
I'm pretty much I think I'm only keeping my HBO. Like, I seem to only be watching things on that.
It is really good.
Like, they're just, I think they have the best breadth, like large quantity of actual content that's actually still good. Netflix has kind of gone down over the last couple years. I think because they're trying to do their own thing, but like they lost The Office, they lost
Parks and Rec,
their Disney stuff,
like Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Parks and Rec, The Office, Seinfeld, The Simpsons. They were all on Netflix at one point. Right. Family Guy.
Is Futurama?
Futurama used to be on there.
It's not anymore. On Hulu.
It's funny to me that Futurama went like exclusively to Hulu, and then Netflix made Disenchantment. Like, good for you, Matt Groening.
Right. Yeah, Netflix. I don't know. I think they banked too much on their original stuff. Which I mean, it's not like Netflix is hurting. Like, they're making 2 Knives Out films.
Yeah, I'll say though, like 40 to 60% of Netflix originals like hit for me.
Yeah,
but they do have some like
there's so many of them at this point though.
Yeah, there's so many, and there are some that just do not call to me. And I also know that Netflix makes, I don't know the percentage, but it is a shit ton of foreign media.
They do.
Like a boatload of foreign media. So I'm sure they're doing well, like, globally.
Doesn't Netflix operate on a loss? I actually don't know if they do. Chat, I'm not sure. They could be. But yeah, they make a lot of national stuff. Like, not national, but like global television and stuff. I don't know. That looks weird. But yeah, I think I don't know if they were like ready for competition or something, because it feels like as soon as all their competition came out, like they just had like better content. It doesn't help like everyone's making their own streaming services. Like Netflix had everything because no one else had one. But now that like HBO, Disney, Hulu, Peacock.
Slowly taking their ship back.
Yeah, it's like, oh. Oh, they didn't expect a global pandemic. That's fair. But anyway, yeah. Let's see what other movie news. I don't think, like I said, kind of a slow ass week. We got.
Yeah,
a new
you were gonna
image.
talk about.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Say what you were gonna
New
say.
image for Michael Myers in Halloween Kills. It's Michael Myers. He's holding a knife. He has his mask on. There's nothing to say about that.
Neat. Another Halloween movie.
I mean, the last Halloween movie kind of ruled.
Was that the one with Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty rad.
Actually, like pretty good cinematography.
Executively produced by Danny McBride. Not that that means anything, but it's funny to see his name on a Halloween movie.
I mean, I agree with that. It is weird and funny, but like, he's been in like a couple like horror films, which is always dies like really early.
Yeah, he's. I don't know anything about him, but I don't think I've ever been disappointed by anything his name's been on.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Halloween Kills is the sequel to Halloween, which again, I don't like when movies name like it's like Halloween already exists. Why did you have to make another Halloween and name it Halloween?
And also, it sounds like an adjective.
Right.
Like Halloween Kills, and you're like at a metal show, you're like, this fucking band Halloween is so good, they fucking kill. Halloween Kills.
Yeah, last one had amazing music. I agree. I thoroughly liked the last Halloween.
I really did too. I liked it a lot.
So I mean, I'll watch it. I like a good slasher.
Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? I was gonna talk about. I'm all over the place right now.
You were gonna talk about the Amazon and someone's.
Yeah,
budget.
let's move over to television. So.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that I was gonna cause that.
No, I literally.
Done?
Yeah, I think I'm looking at my notes. I'm like scouring the sites right now to see if there is anything new on movies. Like I said, it was a pretty slow week. We got some trailers for some like Sundance films that I've noticed like a lot of trailers drop on Tuesdays. So like I'm getting ready and getting my notes ready like 10 minutes before the show, and then there's like 3 new trailers. I'm like, well,
here I am, just like casually watching Love, Death, Robots, watching the time tick away.
But anyway, let's move over to television. So, talking about studios with a big budget, we finally got the budget for the new Lord of the... Well, I don't know if this is finally, but like we got an official number for the Amazon Studios.
Oh, it's gonna be a big one.
Budget for the season 1 of the Lord of the Rings series. $465 million.
It's better be the greatest show of all time.
Right. Like, I mean...
What was the movie budget?
Ooh, that's a good question. It has to be like an insane number. 93 million. Oh my god.
What? This better be fucking at least twice as good.
I don't think you're gonna do that.
Minimum twice as good.
I guess okay, Netflix paid $469 million for the two Knives Out sequels, but those are films. It looks like they're trying to fill that Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That there's like because there really hasn't been like a universal like show that everyone watched except me and you who didn't watch since Game of Thrones. Everyone watched but the people in this podcast. Oh,
man,
that's a
The
big
Hobbit
price
had
tag.
180 million.
Yeah, and look what that did for that. Not much. A weird GoPro river rafting scene that felt so weird. I still am baffled by that decision.
There's so many things in that movie that I'm just like, why is this happening?
Right. It's so like I still like enjoyed it, but it just was like, why? This is weird. I don't like it.
Yeah, it was too perfect.
People
need to fuck up more.
That's a
in those
good way
movies.
of putting it. It's like what you mean? You didn't like Legolas fucking pulling a Tony Hawk and grinding and shooting fucking orcs with a
landing every single flip, jumping from barrel to barrel to barrel down a river on top of like hobbit heads, hitting every the dude never misses.
Legolas is like God.
And he's supposed to be 60 years younger in those movies. Shouldn't he be worse at killing stuff?
No, he's just always been a god, duh, man. He's that guy when you play like Valorant or Fortnite who just doesn't miss that you're hacking. but somehow
He's
he's
got
not.
an aimbot.
Legolas is just always pumped up on G Fuel. That's why he's so good at everything he does. So that makes this the most expensive series ever. It's easy to say that.
Yeah, for
Most
sure.
expensive season of all time.
Watch him like not make it out of a season.
Oh my god. Well,
My name is Earl ends on a cliffhanger.
They filmed the entire season. So
already?
I think so.
When does it come out?
That's a good question. Maybe they didn't. I feel like they're putting up, but at the same time it's Amazon, so it's not like they're putting up that much. Well, I mean that's still a lot, but like it's Amazon. They're fine. When is the release date? Probably 2021.
Wait, that's this year.
That's this year. Oh wait, and then the next thing says 2022? A question mark? So
Oh
I don't
no!
think anyone knows. They paid $250 million for the rights alone.
Oh my!
Why?
So wait, what does that leave them with for the rest of the budget?
That's still like 200 and something million, which is more than the fucking movies.
Wait, what's the budget for this movie?
It is. Oh god, that's just a picture of Legolas. Where's my? I think what did I say? Like 493.
Yeah,
465. Yeah. That's still
465.
260, like 200.
Yeah, that's still way more than The Hobbit.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess like with those rights, all the Lord of the Rings are on Amazon now, so like that's gonna get people to go watch.
They're currently on HBO Max.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Well. Well, I guess the pandemic messed it up. It looks like it was 2021 was supposed to be it, but New Zealand actually got their shit together, so I think they started filming pretty early.
Trivia on IMDb. The series is expected to be the most expensive TV show in history, with Amazon expected to spend at least $1 billion on its production. That cannot be accurate.
Yeah, what? That seems like a crazy trivia. Like that's like 465 million and $1 billion is still very far off.
Yeah, that's come on, gang. Get your math right, IMDb. Get out of here.
Amazon's new Lord of the Rings is the least of $10 billion jillion. I heard from my dad who's Jeff Bezos.
My dad works for Google.
Dad works for Google.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that's a lot of money. That's a lot of
money. That's a lot.
That's my takeaway from that is that's a lot of money.
Yeah, holy shit.
Hopefully it's good. Staying in TV news, Ellen DeGeneres is ending her talk show.
What?
Huh?
What?
I just
what
said
show?
The Ellen show is ending.
Oh yeah. I heard it was because she said it was because it wasn't challenging her anymore.
Right, but have you heard all the stuff that's come out about her like the last 3 years?
Yeah, no, I know. The timing's weird, but like I completely ignored that thought and just asked myself like how much of this show has between like the dancing and like punching people in the face and like buying stuff. But yeah, like how much of a challenge has it ever been?
Right. As I read that, I was like, okay, Ellen, we all like first of all, like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff has come out. For those who don't know, I'll say allegedly, even though a lot of it does seem very concrete, that Ellen is one of those prima donna stars who is very awful to work with, which is not surprising for a lot of people in Hollywood to act that way. But she's ending her talk show, and then like, yeah, it's just not a challenge anymore. It's such a weird thing to say, like for that type of show to like end, right?
I don't know. Like, yeah, it's strange. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a very easy job, right?
Right.
Like I gave up my
hard, but like
I gave up my making cotton candy career because it just wasn't challenging anymore. It's like, dude, you've been spinning cotton candy for like a while.
Right. It's like you weren't changing the game or anything, Ellen. Not
right.
to just like sit here and dunk on you, but like Just if you're gonna end it, just end it. You don't need to make it an excuse like that.
Yeah, I
Weird.
mean, I
Well,
don't know.
that's all I really gotta say about
Yeah.
that. I don't really have much. The show usually is like, well, no, I'll
Dude,
even
shout out
say
Steve
like,
Harvey. He's fucking got Celebrity Family Feud coming up.
oh really?
Yeah.
Did that ever stop? I thought that was just like always on.
I think it might be like new shit because
Oh,
it
nice,
looks good.
nice.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't mean
So
to
I mean,
interrupt,
I don't.
but
We don't really talk about talk shows because I really just do not care for them.
me neither.
That was just like the big news, and I was like, hey, might want to talk about it. I just don't. The
I was
only
just
talk show I like is their Andre show.
oh
It's barely
yeah,
a
true.
talk show.
Well, like we were talking about it, and I was thinking about people who have been doing this for a really long time
Yeah,
that
Steve
are still
Harvey's been
doing
doing it
it.
for a very
Yeah, and
long
I was
time.
like, Steve Harvey, shout out Steve Harvey,
And we've
he's
talked
got
about
that.
Jeopardy a couple times.
Yeah, Jeopardy is fantastic.
I
First
think
of all,
someone didn't Anderson Cooper just host it and like no one watched.
recently he hosted it. Yeah, I did not watch it. No.
Yeah,
Although to be fair, I don't watch it often.
right. It's usually just if it's on, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Oh God, here's another incredibly big money move by Amazon. Amazon is trying to buy MGM for $9 billion. 9 Lord of the Rings shows.
Come on, no, buy AMC. You want AMC?
Which I mean, that's a crazy amount of money. I don't even know what like Amazon
Dude.
gets if they buy that. Like, well, I know what they get, but like, oh, that kind of going off that, like it's weird. So, do you know like the Discovery Channel?
I know the Discovery
You
Channel
know
is.
of it, yeah. Like,
Yeah, like
if
Shark
that
Week, Mythbusters.
happens, and also like there's this weird thing happening with like the Discovery and HBO Max, where like I think Discovery is gonna buy HBO, but they're gonna keep HBO Max and like all the Discovery channels in HBO Max. There's a lot of big things happening, like money wise. It's crazy right now.
Interesting. And
Soon,
Disney owns Nat Geo.
Disney owns everything. Soon it's gonna
Well,
be
yeah.
the corporation wars are upon us, everyone. It's gonna be
Yeah.
Amazon owning half of Hollywood, Disney owning the other half, and they're gonna start weaponizing. Disney already has a lightsaber.
I think Sony realized this, and they were like, "Yeah, fuck it, take them all, take Spider-Man, take
Right.
Fantastic Four. We're gonna go make fucking TVs and PlayStation. We're
Exactly.
doing great over here in Sonyville."
Universal Studios knows they're the first to get hit when the war breaks out. They have to conform.
Oh no!
It's just crazier. And years from now, it is literally going to be like Amazon and Disney are literally just going to own every studio, which is not good, folks. It is not good. But like it is crazy. Just like Lord of the Rings being 465 million, Amazon buying MGM for 9 billion. Just the money is so like it can't even wrap my head around it.
$1 billion.
Yeah,
That's an unfathomable sum of money.
it really is. And okay,
Just
what do they
think
get?
about that.
Oh, they get the James Bond franchise. They'd get the Handmaid's Tale franchise, Rocky, Stargate, RoboCop, Legally Blonde. MGM has a crazy catalog, actually.
Why is there a national debt? We should just move on. We should.
This is making me actually genuinely angry. The MTV Movie Awards happen. I don't care. Moving on.
That's the answer to that.
Yep.
We're on the same boat there.
Actually, I do want to talk about WandaVision won Best Fight in it, and I just want to throw my... Yeah, they won Best Fight for their season finale, and I just wanted to throw something in another thing.
Damn it. Also, Snoop Dogg was there.
Oh, that's cool, at least. AT&T announces deal to merge Warner Media with Discovery. I already talked about that. We got kind of like a clip of Loki, but I didn't watch it because I didn't want anything spoiled.
Oh, yeah, I watched it too.
You did watch it?
I did watch it. Yeah, it was short. It was
okay. Thoughts?
Funny. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It didn't really do much. You know?
Right. I didn't want to watch it for spoilers, but maybe I don't know. Was there anything like spoilery in it, or
Owen Wilson says his name, and
does
that's
he say,
about
"Oh
it.
wow"?
No.
Oh, wait,
Oh
Owen Wilson
wow.
says Owen Wilson, or does he say the
No.
character's name?
Oh wow, I'm Owen Wilson. No, he says his character's name.
Hi, I'm Owen Wilson, and I'm playing Owen Wilson in
I'm
Loki.
playing Owen Wilson.
It's
Dude, have
cool,
you ever seen
goddamn.
Night at the Museum?
Absolutely, I have.
Man,
Love
that
those
might be one of
movies.
my favorite Owen Wilson movies, first of all, but
Yeah, it's good.
it
It's
stands out
good.
in my mind as like a good movie.
It's a good. It's kind of like the Muppet movie. It's a good like all
Family flick.
family flick. Yeah, like good like middle of the road, wholesome flick.
I
I like
thoroughly
Random Museum.
enjoyed that movie.
Yeah,
Speaking of Owen Wilson.
yeah. So that happened. I mean that's coming out soon, right? Loki's like the next couple weeks.
Yeah, June, right?
Yeah. God, May's gone by so fast.
For real.
It's the 18th, and I'm like absolutely like being like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. Today's my sister's birthday. Shout out, big sister. Happy
Shout out.
birthday.
Happy birthday. Um, everyone sing 1, 2.
Hey, that's actually not copyright anymore. It's been over 70 years. No, I'm just
Wait,
kidding.
was that copyrighted?
Yeah, dude, everything's copyrighted.
God, I hate everything so much sometimes. Kind of talk about something ancient. At 95, Dick Van Dyke says he wants to go back on stage. Which I mean, Dick Van
And
Dyke
do
is
what?
I don't know.
Comedy?
I kind of hope so. I don't.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, Dick Van Dyke is funny. I mean, he was also the talk show guy forever. I always forget that he's still alive, so that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Good for him. That's awesome.
Also, Conan is like ending soon too.
Again, he's retiring again.
I don't think he's retiring. I think he's just moving stations again.
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 Yeah.
Dude, I gotta say, like, out of all the late night talk shows, like Conan is probably my favorite. If I had to pick one out of like I don't even know who is it right now, like Stephen Colbert. I guess I like John Oliver. But I've always liked Conan's like clips on YouTube's where the YouTubes where he goes to like other countries and stuff. I always like very much enjoyed those. And he wrote for The Simpsons. That's cool.
Huh.
All right, the last news for the TV. This one's a big one. I was just double check all my notes, make sure there's nothing else big before we talk about this. Oh, we're getting a Masters of the Universe Revelation coming out from Kevin Smith.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's
By the power of Grayskull.
And I said, hey. I mean, Kevin Smith is a good person to like be the producer of that and direct it. He loves all
Definitely.
that cheesy 80s and 90s stuff. I mean, I do too. So
Dude, when are we getting a Thundercats movie?
Thundercats. Oh, whatever happened to like a new Thundercats show? There was supposed to be a new one. Did it come out? I don't even know.
I think there was 2011 TV series.
Oh God, why did I think it was recent? Thundercats ruled.
I don't know if I ever got around to watching that one.
I don't think I did either.
But the originals were bangers all around.
Absolutely. All the 80s and 90s.
Ho!
Thundercats. Oh, all the 80s and 90s cartoons are so good. And that's not nostalgia speaking. It probably is nostalgia speaking, but so good.
No, they're good. Pinky and the Brain is a masterpiece.
Dude, Pinky and the Brain. Have you watched any of the new oh God, what are they called? The Animaniacs?
No.
I've not watched any of the new stuff, but I've heard it's actually pretty good.
There's new stuff?
Yeah, I think it came out a couple months ago. I don't know.
2020
One of the
TV series?
What's somewhere on one of the streaming services, there's Animaniacs.
Well, WB, that's HBO Max, right?
It's Hulu, it says.
Warner Brothers?
It says Hulu.
Oh,
Why?
shit.
I guess there's new Pinky in the Brain, too.
Because Warner Brothers... Or was it Universal that got bought by HBO?
I don't know anymore.
You know what? Forget it.
They're all.
You know what? Just forget it.
I think they just have like a big wheel that they spin, and whatever they land on is the studio they actually work for. But I just know I've heard good things about it. I've not watched it.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So the big news. Well, one other small news. We're getting a Friends reunion. I don't care.
Yeah, I heard about that too. I also don't care.
I have seen all of Friends once. That's enough for me.
Instead of watching Friends, I just got my own.
How do they afford that apartment? They don't
Seriously,
do anything.
you
They don't
realize
do
that
anything.
these people like they mop floors in their own apartment to like pay for it. That's
Right. They like live off of like Central Park, and
what
they
the
don't
fuck.
do anything. God.
I'm Rachel and I eat crayons and I pay for this apartment.
That's been like a big thing lately all over Twitter, which I do kind of find funny, is like all these different articles of people discussing like how did Frasier afford his apartment? How did the people from Friends afford their apartment? And you just like look at it and it's like, yeah, wait, no one does anything.
At least fucking Seinfeld makes sense. Like he is
Right.
a stand-up comedian and he's good at it.
I think Sunny does it the best. They do not live in a fancy place.
They just have not good bars.
Exactly. And even
Or
like
not good
houses or bars. I mean, Patty's
Yeah, true.
Pub is not great, but like it makes sense at least. They don't do much. They do more than the people in Friends, I guess. They own a business.
They're actually drug lords. It's just a large empire. They have to do nothing. Yeah, fucking Joey and Monica are drug lords. And they're just, kicking it in their fucking... It's not even like a penthouse. It's not even that awesome of an apartment.
But
I mean, it does have a loft.
It's like Manhattan.
Yeah, it is in the fancy side of town.
Yeah. All right.
Man, you remember the Drew Carey show? Sorry, this isn't the time for that.
All right. I love the Drew Carey show.
Me too.
Cleveland.
That was the show that I liked.
Yeah, I think the Drew Carey, out of like all those shows, the Drew Carey show was definitely the one I watched the most. And then like when I was older, I watched all of Seinfeld, but like, yeah, Drew Carey. I love the theme song to the Drew Carey show. It's so good. So good. How many seasons was the Drew Carey show?
I don't know. I'm looking up the...
Went from 1995 to 2004.
Dang. Yeah, I remember it not being as good near the end. I'm looking up Mimi right now. Kathy Kinney.
Mimi, yeah.
She was so funny, and I wondered what
really
she'd been up to. She was in Stumptown, and...
Ryan Stiles, Dietrich Bader. That was a good cast. Krista Miller, Craig Ferguson.
Mimi's been staying busy. She was on My Name is Earl.
Yeah.
Nice. That's so cool.
What's Drew Carey been doing? He's hosting a show now, isn't he?
Yeah, he was The Price is Right, right?
I think so.
He lost a bunch of weight and became Bob Barker.
Dietrich Bader's still doing a lot of stuff. Ryan Stiles is still doing Who's Line, I think.
Yeah, Whose Line like came back.
Yeah.
Why is Pat Sajak trending?
I don't know.
Is he okay?
How do you even spell Pat?
Are you okay, Pat? All right. Well, I don't need to be doing wacky Google
internet. The only thing I see about Pat Sajak is he accidentally answered a puzzle on Wheel of Fortune recently. Which I guess is kind of funny.
That is funny.
All right, last thing about television. Navy pilots describe encounters with UFOs on 60 Minutes. We've got a lot of UFO news lately. I like it.
Yeah, bring it on.
I didn't watch 60 Minutes, though, so I don't know what they talked about, but I mean, that's kind of big, though. Like, it being on 60 Minutes, like...
Yeah, that's true. Although, it also almost makes it feel a little hokey.
Right, that is very true.
But like the Canadian Prime Minister or someone, somebody.
It was their I want to say their defense minister or something.
He came out and said some shit a couple years ago. So like at this point I feel like humans have realized that aliens have given up on us. So they're just like, yeah, whatever, who cares if people know, they're never coming back.
You know what the craziest thing is about this whole UFO stuff coming out? Like over the last couple years, you know who's been financing it all?
Elon Musk.
Nope, Tom DeLonge of Blink-182.
Oh,
you know he's not in Blink-182 anymore because he focused on UFO stuff, so he left. But like he is the person behind all the UFO stuff. Just so
Interesting.
crazy. Um,
Man, it's cool that people do different things. Do
yeah,
what you're passionate about, people. Learn from Tom DeLonge,
yeah.
former punk band member who probably thought, I'm never going to play anywhere but this garage, and then he got super fucking
And then
famous,
Blink 182 is like one of the biggest fucking bands of the
uber famous,
2000s.
could play any show they want now.
Yeah, Blink
Um,
182 rules.
and now he does this because I'm guessing it's what he likes.
Yeah, and he has a lot of money.
That too. Do what you
Yeah,
like and make a
yeah,
lot of money.
absolutely. Do what you like is actually what we'll be talking about in the Muppet movies too. Muppet movie.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, my heart. I can't wait.
yes, yes.
Can we get there soon?
Yeah, let's do that right now. Okay, one last other TV thing. God, I keep my notes. I need to do better.
Wait, what are we?
The
There's a lot
Saturday
going
Night
on.
Live did a Muppet skit, and it sucked.
Of course it did.
It sucked. They had like copies of Waldor and Kermit and stuff, and just like you need the actual Muppeteers to do the Muppets, or it just looks bad. Don't do it that way. All right, so let us transition into the Muppet movie. Yay!
Yeah.
So for those who are new here, this is the movie of the week. We discuss it and then we rewrite it. So this week we watched one of my favorite movies of all time, the 1979 Muppet movie. It was The Muppets Coming Back. For those who don't know, the Muppet movie came out in 79. The Muppet Show ran from 72 to 77, I want to say. So they were already big. They were already a big thing when this movie came out, but it had been a couple years since the show, and this was like really them trying to get back into Hollywood, getting back into the mainstream, and they killed it. So Shane, I know this is your first time seeing the movie.
As far as I know, but I mean
Okay.
that may not be true.
For sure.
You know, this movie's been around for a long time, and it is like a family movie. So like, there's a chance that in my younger years, out of my memory, like that I had. But as far as I know, in conscious memory, this is the first time.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So what are your thoughts on it? I'm dying to know.
You're dying to know.
I'm dying to know.
I want to know if you're gonna apologize to Kermit for what you said last week.
What did I say about Kermit?
You said, I think that people that do their own stunts are assholes.
Okay. I do apologize, Kermit, Jim Henson. Everything you do in your show, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about now. He does his own stunts. I do apologize to Kermit always. And
no, I really did enjoy this a lot.
Nice.
It really had me engaged, like, immediately and all the way through. I'm not like huge on like musicals, but this didn't feel like a musical in the way that like Lion King doesn't always feel like a musical.
Right, the songs are always like to get you like from one point to the next. Like, God, I've had Moving Right Along stuck in my head.
Me too. It's so good. It's also catchy and fun, and it's kind of mostly lighthearted, but not totally. There is some like some heavy hitting stuff in there. I expected it to be more like Disney-ified, but they were, you know, it was a little bit more down to earth. They used words like kill and stuff, and it felt very like real and different.
Yeah, reoccurring Hare Krishna jokes.
That was so funny. The Church of Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Dude,
I was cracking up, and their jokes are super funny. Kermit is super funny, and the whole cast was very funny.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I like I said last week, I know I poke a lot of fun for you being such a Muppets fan. But that's just all in good fun, truly, because like all respect to Jim Henson and his team and everything that they've ever done, because I know the Dark Crystal and things like that are just they're just like feats to behold. So like this was kind of special for me, you know. I feel like maybe I did see it when I was a kid or something, but either way, it was like channeling my inner child or something, you know. It just hit me right in the old heartstrings. It was good.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, and I think that's the great thing about the Muppets is like, so a little background on Muppet history. It sounds like I have a PhD in Muppets.
I'm really excited to hear what you have to say about this
Yes.
movie
So
more than I was excited to
yeah,
talk about it.
yeah. I want to talk about Jim Henson real quick. So for those who don't know, Jim Henson created the Henson Company. He created the Muppets. And Sesame Street. So his first big thing he did was actually, okay. Where do I want to start with this? Jim Henson is like my role model. He's someone I've always looked up to.
Oh, I should also say, I can totally see how this movie would have, in your childhood, motivated you to want to go on and do anything creative or artistic
Absolutely.
or chase your dreams in any way.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what Rainbow Connection is. The song that
Hmm.
starts off is literally, like, for the first like couple lines is why what's so important about rainbows? Like, obviously that's not the lyrics, and everyone's like, oh, they're just nothing, and then Kermit's response is like, no. If you believe in rainbows, then there's something special, and that's what Rainbow Connection is. It is literally, listen, people might look at something and be like, that's dumb or stupid, but if you believe in it, if you put belief in art or film or anything,
Yourself.
yourself, exactly yourself, then it does matter. He talks about shooting stars. Why do people wish upon it? Why do people believe in shooting stars? And look what it's done so far. Like, it's honestly a beautiful song. But Jim Henson started very young. He actually got his degree in home ec, which I always found really funny. Because like it also fits so well with the Muppets. Like, you have to know how to sew and stuff.
He literally was the Swedish chef.
Well, okay.
I don't know if he's Swedish, but that would be really
No,
funny.
he's not. Oh god, I'm gonna go on so many tangents. Do you know how they filmed the Swedish Chef bits, which are some of my favorite bits of the Muppet Show?
No.
So you would have Jim Henson doing like the actual puppetry for the Swedish Chef. So doing his mouth movements and doing all that kind of stuff. Which Swedish Chef's so funny. Frank Oz was the hands, and how that bit would always go is Frank Oz, his whole purpose was to throw Jim Henson off the entire time. Because he's really the only Muppet with actual hands, so that's Frank Oz's hands, like throwing stuff and grabbing random stuff, and it's just Jim Henson was just there improvising, having to deal with that chaos. Just so good.
That's something that happened a lot in this movie, though. I found myself wondering, like, man, how did they do that? This was made in 1979.
Right.
This is so
There's
impressive.
no CGI or anything.
Yeah, it was cool.
But anyway, so God, what was I talking about? Okay, so the Muppets kind of hit this middle ground because Jim Henson made Sesame Street and wanted to get away from that, which is crazy. Like, if I created Sesame Street, like, I would be like, that's done. I'm done. I've created something so great and magical.
I can retire.
Anything else. Exactly. But he made that, and he wanted to create something more for adults, which ended up him creating the Muppets. And actually, the first Muppet show was called The Muppets Sex and Violence. That was the first Muppet special name because he wanted to get away from Sesame Street so much. So that's why it's kind of like everyone can watch it. There's like this middle ground between adults and kids being able to watch the Muppet Movie, and like being able to watch it when you're older and still like the Hare Krishna jokes, Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. They're like crazy drugged out antics, are like all so relatable and so funny.
Yeah, it hits all the marks.
It really does. It really does. So let's talk about the actual movie, and let's talk about what it is. So this is the part of the show where we break down like what makes this movie what it is, so we can remake it in a new genre, making a prequel, sequel, or a remake. So first of all, if the Muppets movie is the Muppets, you have to have the Muppets. And I'm not just saying that, be like, oh, it's the Muppets. Like, how do I want to put this? Like, the Muppets themselves are this like entity. Like, you look at the Muppets and you can think like, oh, that's a puppet, but like, they're the Muppets. They're all living. They all have their own personalities. And I got it. The Muppets are just the Muppets. You also have to have meta jokes because the Muppets are super meta.
Some of the best fourth wall breaks I've seen.
Right? Like when they get to Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem at the church, And Fozzie's like, oh, that's going to be boring for the audience. And they just hand the screenplay for the movie to Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Teeth and they read through it.
And then they call it back later, and it's even funnier.
Right.
He's like, "How did you guys get here?" And he's like, "Well, we just looked at the screenplay."
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh my god. That's one thing I love about the Muppets is like they're so self-aware. They're so meta with all their jokes. They break the fourth wall all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even the ending musical, like Kermit's like directly speaking to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Along talking about musicals and stuff, we need music in a Muppet movie. And they have to be goddamn catchy.
Mm-hmm.
And like actually good songs. Yeah. We have Rainbow Connection. We have Moving Right Along. We have Can You Picture That by Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem, which I think.
Oh, big question.
Yeah.
The guy playing the piano.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Dr. Teeth.
No. The man playing the piano.
Oh, the guy, the like actual guy, not a Muppet.
Because at first I literally was like, "Holy shit, is that Elton John?" And then I was like, "Or is that Meatloaf?" And then I forgot to check the credits.
Either. If you look, let me look up the Muppet Movie cameos. I don't think it was. I wasn't Elton John. I know it wasn't Meatloaf. Let's see. Well,
Just seems so familiar.
Yeah, let's go through the guest stars right now, cameos in order of appearance. We start with Dom DeLuise as the Hollywood agent. Most people probably don't know who he is, but he was a big producer, director. We got James Corbin, Madeline Kahn, Telly Savalas, Carol Kane, Paul Williams. Paul Williams was the piano guy. Which
okay.
Three Dogs Night, part. You've heard music, you know Paul Williams. Along
that's a myth.
That's a myth. That's Carol Kane, which is so funny. I love that reoccurring gag where every time.
So good.
Yeah, she pops up. So good. Along with that, we have Milton Berle as a madman, Mooney, the car salesman with Sweetums, Elliot Gould, Edgar Bergen, Charlie McCarthy. You have Bob Hope, and then Richard Pryor, then Steve Martin, and Mel Brooks, all within like 30 minutes of each other. Like, just Richard Pryor, Steve Martin, and Mel Brooks is such an insane trio to have.
Then you have
cameo.
Cloris Leachman and Orson Welles as your like closers.
Yeah, Orson Welles as the fucking Hollywood producer who his only line is so funny. It's like, oh, so the rich and famous contract. It's so good. Yeah, like you can't tell me there's a movie that has better cameos than that. Like Steve Martin at his prime, Richard Pryor, Orson Welles. I don't even know if Orson Welles like made cameos in other films. Orson Welles,
I don't think so.
Is so good.
Yeah, it was cool seeing it now as someone who like has seen a lot of movies.
Yeah.
You know, in my lifetime, and I've learned to appreciate the majority of the people on this list. It's just cool to see them popping up in something like out of character or context, so to speak. Like,
right.
You know, like when Richard Pryor showed up, I was like, oh my gosh, that is amazing.
When he sells all the balloons to Gonzo is so funny. I gotta say, if we're looking at all these cameos and I have to pick a favorite, it's definitely Mel Brooks as the German doctor.
Yeah, he did a great job. That was really
Mel
funny.
Brooks just is always just hilarious.
Yeah, he's a win. Yeah. I like Steve Martin as well. He was
as the waiter that was just disgusted by everything.
He's so funny. I like Steve Martin a lot. A little soft spot there.
Yeah, same. But, Steve Martin rules.
But in terms of Richard Pryor, like See No Evil, Hear No Evil is like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
it's so funny. So when he came up, and it was right in that time frame, right, where he, like you said, he was kind of like in his prime, I guess.
Yeah, I think 79. That's like when all his like stand up and stuff like came out. I think like some of the bigger ones he recorded, like that's around that time. So yeah, the cameos are absolutely crazy. And then the sequel to this, The Great Muppet Caper, they go to the UK, and you pretty much like have all the Monty Python people in it, which is great. So yeah, if we're making a Muppet movie, we have to have cameos, and they have to be like not just like normal people. They have to be like the best of Hollywood.
The stars.
The stars, exactly. We talked about the music. There has to be good music. It has to have a love for movies or a love for the genre it is making, like making fun of or like being part of parodying. Because like the Muppet movie is a love letter to movie. Like we talked about Edgar Wright and Hot Fuzz. Like this is more of a general like love for like the idea of Hollywood, not so much Hollywood itself, but the love of the idea of making something. The idea of making a film. That is what the Muppet movie is about. Believing in yourself. Believing in your dream. Kermit was just a frog in a bayou. And then he made it to Hollywood, everyone. You can do it too.
You only believe.
Dude, that part actually like gets me every time when they're all at the campfire. And
Yeah.
Kermit's just like, I never promised anyone. And then like he has like Ghost Kermit, Dream Kermit, who's like, you promised yourself. You believed in yourself. It's like, ah!
Man, yeah, that was good.
So good.
This movie really will just get you right in the heart.
Yeah. Rainbow Connection is like the only song I want to play that I not want to play, but like the only song that I'm requiring to play at my funeral. If that like that's the only song. I don't care what else you do. Throw my body in like a lake.
I want mine to be moving right along.
Oh, dude, that's such that's such a funny song too. Like the whole like I think it's vaudevillian humor. Is that like that type of humor? Like where like at the next fork in the road, turn left, and there's like an actual fork in the road.
Yeah.
They end up in Rhode Island, even though they're trying to go to Hollywood, Saskatchewan. Oh, that song. They released a green album, like in 2011, that has like a bunch of big bands covering some of the Muppet song, like Weezer and Hayley Williams from Paramore.
Okay.
Seeing Rainbow Connection, which is really good, but Alkaline Trio does Moving Right Along, and it's such a good
Cool.
cover. And then OK Go does a cover of the Muppet Show like theme song. And okay, going back to meta, like literally this movie is the Muppets watching this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're at the premiere for this movie. And I think that's why the context matters, that like this came out after the Muppet Show was on for 5 seasons, is because it's like, oh, the Muppets are already a thing. Here's them watching a movie about their so-called like start, like how the Muppets started.
Right.
It's also a road trip movie, and I love me a road trip movie.
Yeah, I can get down with that.
Trying to think of what else does a Muppet movie. It needs to have heart. I think I said that. It has to have reoccurring jokes. Like the Hare Krishna joke we talked about, the screenplay coming up multiple times.
Yeah.
What? Oh god, I'm trying to think of how the joke is set up, but when they are at the Wild West town and Kermit is having like the showdown with the Doc.
Yeah.
And they talk about the Muppets getting big and the animal actually becomes a giant.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny to me for some reason.
Yeah, that was good.
So God, what was I about to say?
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Nailed it. God. Give me a second. I was trying to. There's a point. Yeah, moving right along. Sweetum's running the entire time and then bursting through the screen at the end is really funny. I love Sweetums. Sweetums is probably my favorite.
He cracked me up.
I take that back. Gonzo's my favorite Muppet. I love Gonzo and how no one actually knows.
Animal is really funny, like the entire time.
All of the Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem is so good, especially like these are all like based off of like famous musicians. Like Janis is obviously Janis Joplin. Dr. Teeth is supposed to be, oh god, let me like actually look this up. I want to say, well, Floyd is like Pink Floyd. Zoot is a famous saxophone player named Zoot. Um, Yo, Grums. Yeah, so the members of Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem, which is like the groove band, you have Dr. Teeth. Oh god, I thought this said. Okay, yeah. So Dr. Teeth is like supposed to be like John Lennon, kind of like I think Dr. Teeth is the only one who doesn't have like a super like connection. Oh, actually, yeah, he's supposed to be based off to Dr. John, the New Orleans musician. Animal is said to be based on Keith Moon and John Bonham, so the Who and Led Zeppelin.
Nice.
Floyd Pepper is obviously combination of Pink Floyd and Dr. Pepper. Sergeant Pepper. And the Lonely Hearts Band. Janis Joplin, Zoot, is based off of Dave Goelz. And yeah, I mean, I love them. God. Okay, I can't remember the point I was making. But anyway. Oh, now I remember what I was going to talk about. So, in a Muppets movie, you always have to have ridiculous shots that are absolutely a nightmare to pull off to make. The behind the scenes for this movie is absolutely insane.
I believe it.
So the first scene where Kermit is, no, not the first scene. The first scene is them in the movie studio. But like the second scene where Kermit is sitting in the bayou, in the swamp, playing Rainbow Connection on his banjo. Jim Henson was actually underwater.
I was gonna say, I don't want to be the guy that's like trying actively to find fuck ups in movies.
Right.
Right. I don't like to be that person. But when you have a movie that's all about puppets,
yeah,
I can't help but kind of like try to peek around and see if there's like anything sticking out or anything weird. And there like never is.
It's really hard with the Muppets. They're really good at what they do. But yeah, they like had to build a tank, and Jim Henson, like, I think that scene alone took like 3 to 4 days to shoot. So he was pretty much underwater for 3 to 4 days doing the whole Rainbow Connection Kermit thing. The bicycle shot was the first time they ever used the like remote control puppetry. So that's not like CGI'd or anything. That's like actually a puppet, like remote control. Probably my favorite tidbit from the Muppet movie is during Moving Right Along, we see Fozzie and Kermit driving a car. So what they did is they refurnished an actual Studebaker, an actual car. They removed it so the people could do the puppets underneath it, which meant they removed like the actual functional driving steering wheel and like the pedals and stuff, and put it in the trunk. So there was someone in the trunk with a small monitor showing where they were going, driving in the trunk as
That's
they
amazing.
which is so terrifying but so amazing.
The bicycle scene was the first time I said, holy shit, how'd they do that?
Yeah.
And then the driving scene, I was like, okay, this is crazy. And then, no shit, like the second time that a car was driving or something, it was Max. You know, the frog leg helper.
Yeah.
He's a worse driver than the Muppets. He was
really
swerving all over the fucking road,
really
on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah. So you need to have ridiculous shots that is all practical. I think the only thing that isn't really practical is like when Fozzie's walking, but even that's still puppetry. They just use a green screen. But like everything is a practical shot. The last shot, the whole part where they're singing like the Rainbow Connection reprise, Life's Like a Movie, Make Your Own Ending thing. They had 200 puppeteers in that area, in like I think like a very small area, and they got, it's estimated like they got like all the puppeteers in America pretty much.
Wow.
For that shot. And rumor is that in that actual puppet menagerie of people was Tim Burton, a young Tim Burton.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how you make a Muppets movie. So, I mean, I can talk about this all night. The Muppet movie, absolutely, I love. It is a big part of my childhood. It is a big part of why I'm a filmmaker. Literally, I watched a movie so much growing up which told me, life's like a movie, make your own ending, believe in yourself. Rainbows can be whatever you want them to be. Just believe in yourself. The most important thing is belief and believing in others, believing in yourself, having people to back you up. Like, it's such a wholesome film. It was a great return for the Muppets too. This is like their film that brought them back. This is the first Muppet movie. We get the sequel, The Great Muppet Caper. After that, then we start getting all like Treasure Island, The Christmas Carol, which I'll still argue is the greatest Christmas movie of all time. The Muppets Christmas Carol. You get Muppets in Space, which isn't as good. And I'll even recommend, if you liked this Muppet movie, anyone out there, watch the 2011 Muppet movie. I think it's just called The Muppets. It was written by... God, I'm so bad with names today. Jason Segel. So it was written by Jason Segel. He loved the Muppets growing up. He came to Disney and said, "Hey, I want to make this movie." They let him do it, and the Muppets 2011 is probably it's second to the first Muppet movie, and like how much passion, and it's all about getting the Muppets back together and growing up, but still remaining childlike and still having wonder stuff. It's beautiful, and it's also the only Muppet movie to ever win an Oscar, which it won for "Am I a Man or Am I a Muppet?" A song that is really funny. But anyway, this is the point of the show where we ruin the Muppet movie, which is kind of hard to ruin, because the good thing about the Muppets is they've hit every genre. They've done everything. So let's see what type of film we are making.
I noticed it was a pretty short list.
Yes. It is a remake. Oh, God.
Tough. See, like, this is what I was afraid of.
It's a horror remake. See, the thing is, I'm okay with the remake, because technically the 2011 movie was a remake. But in a sense of, I think a remake in this sense is the Muppets still know about their previous movies. They're just trying to bring back the Muppets.
From the dead.
From the dead. I mean, a horror film. So I think if we're doing this horror, like, it has to be more like the Alice Cooper style horror, not like slasher style horror. More like the Count from Sesame Street. You know what I mean? Like more campy horror.
Yeah.
Like Vincent Price horror. Oh God, Muppet. Well, okay. So I think we need to start off. The good thing about the Muppets is a lot of the things they do are adaptions. So if we're doing a horror Muppet movie, it can be an adaptation of some like old literature. We could do like the Muppets Dracula. Or the Muppets and the Muppets of Madness. I actually really like that idea.
The Call of the Muppets.
The Call of the Muppets. I think we go Lovecraftian with this. I think just because of the name alone, the instead of
I like
the Muppets of Madness, the
Muppets of Madness.
The Muppets of Madness, which is a Lovecraftian retelling of the Mountains of Madness, but with the Muppets.
They play an Arctic team of explorers.
Yes, so I think
on their way to dig up Animal.
Yes, Animal. Okay. There's also these like alien style Muppets that like are really strange looking that you could pull, but like Animal, I think actually should probably be part of the expedition, and he could be like the guide dog.
Yeah. So if there's alien Muppets, they make more sense.
Yeah, there is like actual alien Muppets, because they did a whole like one of my favorite bits in the Muppet Show is pigs in space, and it was like a whole like Star Trek style thing. I'm gonna type in alien Muppets. Also, I don't know, maybe you've seen them like on they're also on in Sesame Street. Let me post them. They're like the meep 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 meep. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those. I'll post them in Discord. But yeah, so I think who's in this party? Who's in this group going to the mountains, the Muppets of Madness? Obviously, we have Animal, we have Kermit.
I think the group was like really, really big in the Mountains of Madness.
All right, so then we just bring in all the normal. So we bring in Kermit, we have Fozzie, we have Gonzo, we have Animal, we Miss Piggy. We probably have we definitely not even probably we have Bunsen and Beaker, the
Yeah.
scientists. I feel like they're
Uh-huh.
the first two to go crazy too. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
Beaker is the
Beaker.
first one to go crazy. Me, 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 and just freaks out in a Lovecraftian way. Oh my god. Yes.
Oh,
Um,
that's awesome.
we have the Alien Muppets. What I know you're more familiar with the Mountains of Madness. What happens in it? I
They
know you've read it.
go
Yeah.
into a mountain and
And they
they
go
find
mad.
a lot of um obelisks and items that they could like dissect. They bring
Okay.
them back and they do some stuff, but I never finished it.
Fair enough. Who are the cameos? Who do we have making cameo appearances?
Well, it's a horror flick, so it
Yeah.
seems like it'd be good to have like
Jamie Lee
scary
Curtis.
people. Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis, like Robert Englund.
Yeah.
Um, hmm, Steve the Hare Harrington.
Yes.
Ash Williams.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Bruce Campbell definitely
That would be
definitely
funny.
he's probably like the main cameo. He's probably around for a bit.
Helps out a little bit. He wouldn't have necessarily have to be Ash, just like the nameless stranger.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm also thinking this could be like a Thing remake too.
Yeah, that would be great.
Like the Muppets in like the Thing scenario where they're all in the Arctic and they're trying to figure out which one's not a Muppet. And
Hell yeah.
oh my god, you could do so
They
many horror
unmask
remakes.
them and it's just hands.
Yes. Oh my god, and they would make that joke too.
Oh man.
There's this in the Muppet Treasure Island. There's this roll call scene that's really funny that like roll calls through like 30 different people. So you could just put all the Muppets. Okay, thought. Because this is a Muppet remake, they're trying to get the group together. They can only make the Muppet Show, but in Antarctica, for some reason, or they're doing the first Muppet live show in Antarctica, and they get stuck in the Arctic base by themselves, and people start going crazy, like in the Thing, and people start going missing. And all the cameos are like actually like scientists and stuff who are already up in the Arctic. Like Bruce Campbell could be like the head scientist.
Uh-huh. The only people actually going crazy is like Jim Henson, Frank Oz.
Yes.
Like what if the Muppets started talking to their puppeteers?
Ooh, that would be very like Lovecraftian and very meta too. Those are our meta jokes. The reoccurring joke could be about having a hand in them too. Be like, what's inside you? Like, oh, it's the hand.
It's just
All right, so we got. So what's the heartfelt message of the Muppets of Madness, the Thing / Lovecraftian remake? Maybe it is trust yourself.
Trust yourself, or it might even still be the same. Like, you know, you can do anything you put your mind into. But like they're going here to make a comeback or make a show or whatever. Like maybe they still do that. It's a smaller cast.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like Alice Cooper has to make a cameo too. He's just up there for some reason.
Perfect. Maybe
yeah.
Ozzy.
Yes. Ozzy's up there too. The music. Obviously, I'm not a songsmith.
It's just like 80s hair metal.
Yes, absolutely.
Ozzy, Alice, Motley Crue.
Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem are no longer the like weird, not weird, but like the psychedelic band they are now. They're like moved on to the 80s hair metal.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Also, I feel like Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem, like they're probably the first to go because I think it'd be really funny. Maybe Animal's the one bursting out of people's chests.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's just Animal over and over again. Maybe that's the infection. Is just animals, just like a bunch, like in Aliens. We're bringing a bunch of movies in together. bringing a bunch of movies in now. It's just a bunch of animal.
Oh, I love it.
There's an animal hive, kind of like in Aliens. There's a bunch of eggs that just hatch. There's just a bunch of animals. Hell yeah. I think that's a good Muppet movie. We are actually getting the next Muppet thing is the Muppet Haunted Mansion. So
Nice.
we are getting an example of a horror Muppet film. This is like really the first Disney-ish thing.
Quote unquote horror.
Yeah, quote unquote family.
It is the
family
Muppets.
horror. It is the Muppets. That is true. They are no longer the Muppets. Sex and violence. They're much more chill.
They are Disney's The Muppets.
Yeah. All right. Anything else to add to that?
I don't think so. I'm glad you picked this movie.
Hell yeah.
I didn't know how I was gonna feel about it when you said it, and
Yeah.
after I watched it, I'm glad that you picked it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good. It was kind of a nice like refresher after watching Nightcrawler and There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, it was a good palate
Even though-
cleanse.
Yeah.
And I
so
think
what are we watching next week?
I was gonna say I think I'll keep us on the same track.
Hell yeah.
You picked something that was influential on your childhood or whatever. And
Yeah.
I don't know if this one's influential, but we're gonna watch James and the Giant Peach because
Hell yeah, that movie scared me as a kid. I'm excited.
I
to watch
love it. It's cool. It's from my childhood. It's Tim
Yes.
Burton. It's animation. It's a lot of
movie
things.
Scared me as a kid. I'm excited to watch it again.
It's really cool. I just remember it so much when I was a kid.
Yeah, I watched it a decent amount as a kid too. I'm excited. I haven't actually not watched it since I have been a kid. So
nice.
it's on Disney Plus, right?
I'm about to check right now. I believe it is, and it looks like there might have been a show or something. But
yeah, I'm excited.
There she goes, James and the Giant Peach. Yep. Yeah, I did not know what movie to pick until about 10 minutes ago.
Nice. I'm excited. I think it's a good pick. It's a good definitely a good good mash of like the Muppets and James the Giant Peach.
Yeah, it's almost like the Muppets horror.
It really is. Can't wait to remember why I was so terrified of that movie as a kid.
Probably their beady little eyes.
Probably like the crazy like stop motion. All right. Well, that was ruining movies, everyone. That was the Muppet Movie episode, and I can tell you this is not the last time we're covering a Muppet movie, because come December we're gonna be watching Christmas Carol. I'm promising that. Promising everyone there. Promising that now. God.
So wait, does that mean I have to think about holiday themed films too?
Not really.
Like
we probably should watch Christmas films around December, you know.
Yeah.
And we probably should make October like horror movies.
That's not a bad idea.
It makes sense. Those are really the only 2 months I can think where we should be watching specific films. So there's
July, we just gotta watch some good old boys doing
watch
America things.
Oh God, if you make me watch Top Gun, I'm gonna be very
Wet
upset.
Hot American Summer.
I'll watch
Gun.
that any day.
What is that one? Sleepaway Camp.
Sleepaway Camp's also. Slashers, yes. I like Sleepaway Camp.
Summer of slasher flicks.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, let's get some plugs and get out of here and play some video games. So Shane, start us off.
You can catch me live at twitch.tv/bringtheshane, and all my other social medias are pretty much the same and can be found at my Twitter, which is the Shane Train.
Hell yeah.
We'll see you around, everybody. Come play games with us.
Yeah. You can find me at twitch.tv/farmgoat. If you're watching me now, hello, thank you for watching us. You can find all my gameplay videos at FarmGoat Plays on YouTube. You can go to FarmGoat Says for a little more movie reviews. Shane and I have another podcast called Survival Check, which is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition unofficial guide to the monster manual of that edition. It is fun. It is funny. We're about to record the Cockatrice episode this week.
What?
The Cockatrice.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. It's honestly, it's pretty funny. And informational. It's edutainment, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So go check that out. And yeah, all my social media stuff is pretty much at FarmGoat. And I can't really think of anything else. We're gonna keep plugs on my side pretty light right now. And yeah, after Rooting Movies, we always play games, so come check that out. What are we playing tonight, Shane?
I mean, probably Valorant.
We're playing Valorant. All
Or
right.
I mean, we could do that or like Hypixel or something.
I'm cool with whatever.
I like Valorant.
Let's play Valorant then. All right, so yeah, if you want to play games with us after we record Ruining Movies, come check that out. We record Ruining Movies at 6 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, and then we usually are playing games by like 8:30 and play till 10. So it's always good. It's always a good time. Yeah. That's it. We'll see you guys
That's
next
a whole
week.
podcast, everybody.
That's a podcast. That's the podcast. Next week we're talking about James and the Giant Peach. Bye everyone.
Sayonara.
Me.